Most of us don't drive at excessive speeds, but for those who do, the consequences are serious. Depending on where you are driving, the consequences can include fines, fees, demerit points, license suspension, increases to insurance, and vehicle impoundment.
Okay, your license can be kept by us and it's will be returned back to the Ministry of Transportation.
This guy thought he could beat the system by watching out for cruisers, but he never saw one. His speed was captured from the sky by aircraft surveillance.
Okay, 10-4-0-0. I have a beige motor vehicle traveling in lane number 1.
Juliet 020, copy. I'm mobile.
Alpha Charlie 1 to Juliet 020. It is going to be for the offense of speeding, and I will confirm that you are stopping the correct motor vehicle with a speed of 167 and an offense time of 11:51.
Whether your excessive speed is caught from the air or on the ground, the penalties are significant. This driver had his vehicle impounded. At least they gave him a lift to the gas station so he could call someone for a ride home.
Okay, so here we are at Lakehead University, where we're going to talk to Dr. Michelle Bedard about driving when you're sleepy, otherwise known as drowsy driving. Michelle.
This is a driving simulator. Shabam is driving the equivalent of a G2 course that people would take for their driver's licenses, and we could actually examine its performance. Of course, we're concerned about fatigue and drowsy driving because it probably accounts for about 1/3 of all fatal and serious crashes.
My eyes will start closing. I'll feel like I can't keep them open.
You just suddenly feel like your eyes are getting a little bleary.
Where you realize that you can't remember the last few turns that you took and question how you got there.
When they have like the bumps on the side of the road and you're like tum 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 tum.
I'll start swerving or I'll feel my head going down.
Just coming up to school, I was getting pretty tired. It's a good thing the road has wide shoulders.
In many ways, fatigue driving and driving impaired are quite similar. If you're at a party and you actually are tired that particular day, even a small amount of alcohol, something that you would think is below the legal limit, may actually just push you over the edge in terms of unsafe driving. If you're tired, the best approach may be to not drink at all. People go to school or work, they combine many activities, they've got lots of social life. All these things together usually add up to mean that somebody will have some kind of deficit in terms of the sleep that they should be getting. Sleep deficit is basically an accumulation of tiredness or fatigue. Over a course of time, you should be sleeping X amount of hours, and if you continuously don't sleep those hours, this fatigue accumulates. So you end up being with this serious deficit. And of course, the more of a deficit you have, the more unsafe you'll be on the road.
I'll open up a window, turn up some music.
Rolling down the window, getting cold air in your face, turning up the radio. If I'm with someone else, I will ask them to drive for me.
Just pull over, maybe take a nap, a little power nap.
Take a nap, I can stop, take a break.
Sometimes drinking a coffee. Even if it is late at night, I know I'll be up, for a couple extra hours because I'm having that caffeine. It's a good idea to just get something to kind of keep me aware a little more.
So I guess the real message here is really to not drive fatigued and don't fall asleep at the wheel.
Absolutely, it's very dangerous.
Right, Shubham? Shubham? Oh, God.
A little bit of a sleep deficit.
What happened? Okay, fine, man.
Eyes on the road.
The party was sick. I can't believe Claire was there. She looks so hot.
She's looking so good. I'll turn the song up. Yeah. Oh, what's this? What is it?
Oh, it's a ride spot check.
Oh, no. Oh, it's spot check?
Spot check? I don't think I had too much to drink.
Are you sure?
Not sure.
Oh, are you serious? How many did you have to drink?
Not too many, I don't think.
Are you sure?
I don't think so. Well, they're waving me in now. I guess I have to.
Hi.
Hi.
Just doing a red spot check.
Okay.
Have you any alcohol to drink tonight?
Just a couple of drinks.
Exactly how many?
Just a few.
Just a few? You just pull over here, right behind this cruiser here.
Okay.
Drivers who are found operating a motor vehicle with a BAC above the legal limit or who refuse to provide a breath sample can be charged criminally, and in most cases, drivers will also face suspension from driving. Each year in Canada, about 80,000 people lose their driving privileges. Then, if they are convicted under the criminal code, they're looking at longer suspensions, fines, possible legal fees, alcohol education, and maybe an ignition interlock condition when they get their license back. Impaired driving is a criminal code offense and result in a criminal record. Fines start at $1,000 and consequences go up for a second, third, or subsequent offense. New young drivers have a 0 BAC condition, so they are suspended for having any alcohol in their system, in addition to any of the consequences that the drivers face at the higher levels. While the legislation varies slightly by province or territory, in most cases, a driver can be immediately suspended from driving at .05, and in fact at .04 in Saskatchewan. Consequences include immediate suspension from driving. Escalating sanctions for repeat occurrences include longer suspensions, alcohol education or treatment, and short-term ignition interlock restrictions. Other consequences can include increases to insurance costs. Perhaps a more curious area of concern when it comes to road safety is drugs and driving. Driving under the influence of illegal or prescription drugs can be just as risky as driving drunk. So, the penalties and programs for offenders are the same as they would be for a criminal code drinking and driving conviction. And there is new legislation which gives the police the power to conduct standard field sobriety tests and drug recognition tests. These tests assist the police officers in assessing the cause of impairment.
Alcoholic drinks, none.
0. 0. None.
0.
None. If you're gonna have a drink, don't drive. Stay at a friend's house, take a taxi, or take public transportation.
Carpool, take a taxi.
Bring the extra money for a cab, a bus.
Taxi. Friend who hasn't been drinking.
Having a designated driver.
Being the designated driver yourself.
And don't let someone who has a history of always drinking be the designated driver.
Toronto Fire Academy, and we're in the training tower 5 stories up. We're here to see what happens to a person not wearing their seatbelt traveling at 60 kilometers an hour.
So we're going to be taking this pumpkin and dropping it 5 stories down, or rather 14 meters down.
Because you see, the velocity of a 60-kilometer-per-hour impact is the same as falling 14 meters, or from the 5th floor of a building. Unbelted people continue to move inside the vehicle until they hit something like the windshield, dashboard, steering wheel, or even another passenger. About 1/3 of drivers and passengers killed in motor vehicle collisions were not wearing their seatbelts. Well over 90% of Canadians wear their seatbelts regularly. And the person most likely to die? A male driver or passenger between age 16 and 24.
What's gonna hit him? Should have thought of that. Should buckle up. All right, everybody ready for this? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Geronimo! Yeah! Oh, the brain came right out too. Oh, look at that impact.
I definitely didn't expect that.
Can you see it? That just goes to show you what happens when you don't buckle up.
Yeah.
It's pretty disgusting.
On the left side too, all the stuff here.
Good splatter.
Very nice, on target.
Oh. Imagine the person who's not wearing a seatbelt would do to other people, because he'd be just kind of going all over the place around, right?
So please, everybody, fasten your seatbelts.
I remember when I first got my license, I was pretty excited to be able to just go anywhere, anytime.
Just that ability to be able to, visit friends a couple cities away.
Driving is very
rewarding. It's very nice.
It definitely gives you tons of freedom.
When I first got my license, it was like I could go anywhere.
I live out in the country, so it lets me go places when I need to go and have a job, go to school, be able to see people. It's nice to be able to jump in a car and go places when you need to.
It gives you options and freedom.
But it does give a lot of responsibility as well.
Especially as a student, it gives me freedom.
The ability to go wherever I want, whenever I want.
I think it gives me a sense of freedom.
It's freedom.
Freedom.
It would be detrimental, I'd say, if it was revoked or taken away.
Like I'd have less control in my life, I guess.
Work would be difficult to get to too. You'd have to definitely plan ahead.
If you're in a rural area or a place without public transportation,
it'd be really tough without a driver's license.
Well, a driver's license is more than just driving.
If you had a job and you needed that, there would definitely be a problem.
Especially because that is a piece of identification for myself.
It's identification, mostly.
Anyways, yeah, be safe. Buckle up.
2, 1, drop!
Oh! Speaking of which, tape that. We should have got that on film.
Oh my gosh, during our interview.
Right there. No, but this is awesome for your footage.
Hey everybody, my name's Eric Regible. We're here at the Orangeville Fall Fair, where it's... Hey everybody, my name's Eric Regibald. I'm here at the Orangeville Fall Fair, where there's lots of pigs, cows, abominable snow roosters, and we're here with what? All right.
I always like watching stuff like this. I always like watching stuff like this on TV.
Oh, is that? Yeah, that's the cue. They're in there now. Okay, so let's get going here. Yeah. Ready to do this?
I was born ready.
Break a leg, Eric.
I think I already did.
Be your friend, send your buddy in a cab so we don't end up at the coroner's lab. You might just save a life or two if you think it's worth that much to you. Well, it is.